what's your view on coping mechanisms and how important are they?
Very, very, very important. So I guess what we don't realise often is that we all have our own coping strategies just for everyday life. And we often don't realise that we're doing them. So some people, it might be they get home from a long day at work or a long day at school and they watch 3 hours of reality TV. Or, some people have, which is, neither here nor there as to whether that's a good or a bad coping strategy, but there are lots of very common, what we call maladaptive coping strategies that are the bad ones, because they're not helping the person in the long run. So one of them is like smoking. It's a stress relief, but it's not something that long term is good for you. So we all have coping strategies. It's just a matter of identifying what they are and how well that coping strategy is working for us. So that again, I guess, comes back to insight. So it's really important that we can find something that's going to make us feel better, or make us feel really happy or release our stress or something, and then figure out a way to really, I guess, build up a structure and a routine to integrate that into your daily life. So exactly what you were just saying, whether that's going to the beach or going for a run or talking to a friend, something like that. If you can find out what really makes you tick and really makes you feel good or relaxed, then really that's not just, sometimes I'll feel good after I go for a run. Use that. That's your tool. So you use that actively to integrate as a coping strategy sort of in the long run.
Psychologist, psychiatrist. What's the difference?
So it's probably one of the main things I get asked all the time, and lots of people come up to me and ask if I can prescribe drugs and things like that. So the main difference is that so we both work in the same area, and that we're interested in understanding and treating mental health issues. A psychologist is more a sort of a therapeutic clinician, so we do lots of talk-based therapy and rehabilitation and things like that. Whereas a psychiatrist, they go from the other end. They're medical doctors that specialise in the medicine of the brain, I suppose. So here in Australia, a psychiatrist is typically the person that will prescribe you medication to help with your mental health issues. And they'll often work in tandem with a psychologist. So you might have some antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication that might be managed by sometimes the GP, but sometimes it's a psychiatrist. And then in tandem to that, you'll often see a psychologist who goes through sort of your more day-to-day sort of checking in with you and working on your goals and things like that. But it's really important, and you're going to be in a good place if you can get a psychiatrist and a psychologist that are working as a team, and you're all a group of supports around you, and each one has something that they can contribute.